Hello team, welcome to the February 2025 Virtual Safety Supervisor meeting. Last month we talked about working in cold weather, specifically with our bodies, how to properly prepare for a cold work day and maintain them. Well, those temperatures are still here. It's probably about 20 degrees today. So this month we'd like to talk about the same principle but with our heavy equipment. Please watch this.
Guys, I'm Patrick Crocker, equipment manager for Shirley Contracting. And in this safety video, we're going to talk about, what you should be doing to your machine to get it ready to work in winter weather, or shutting it down in winter weather, and what to do at the end of the day. First and foremost, in the wintertime, it's constantly wet, snowy, as we've seen the last couple of weeks, especially icy. Make sure your tracks and especially your step and the top of your tracks are clean and free and clear of snow and ice. Don't want you slipping, climbing up the machine or down the machine. Most of these machines have a nice bright sticker that sits right about here. It says 3 points of contact. Be sure that every time that you climb up and down the machine, you come up facing the machine and down facing the machine, using that 3 points of contact to make sure you've got good footing and a good grip on the safety rails. At the end of the day, once you climb down off your machine, we want to make sure we clean our tracks. With the freezing temperatures, constantly wet material that we're working in, that dirt and mud will freeze up around our rollers, our sprockets, and our idlers, which acts as kind of a sandpaper. Wears down the undercarriage a lot faster. And on top of that, if enough material gets there, your top rollers and your bottom rollers won't spin. Which really just adds to the friction that the track has to surpass to rotate. Fueling and greasing the machines, right? So we tend to fuel and grease whenever the fuel trucks show up onto the jobs. Carry on doing that. For the guys that work down south that don't have a fuel truck or a grease truck come by, at the end of the day, let's make sure our tanks are topped off with fuel. And especially try to grease your machine whenever the warmest time of day is, if you can get a break. Lunchtime is a great time to do that. End of the day is a great time to do it. Probably don't want to be doing it first thing in the morning when it's 15 degrees outside. The warmer the grease, the easier it'll pump, the easier it'll get in our bushings and bearings. When we start our machines in the morning, we want to let them warm up. Just like your vehicles, instead of, sitting there for 5 minutes, maybe when you get to the site, turn your machine on, let it sit 5, 10, 15 minutes, warm the hydraulic oil up, warm your coolant up, warm your oil up, just warm everything up. It's better for the machine. It'll even warm the heat in your cabs up. So when you climb back in them, you'll feel nice and comfortable. When we shut down at the end of the day, make sure it goes down, shuts down through a proper shutdown cycle. That is returning the machine to low idle, letting it settle out for a little while, let the turbo cool down, and then turn the machine off. One thing to note, in the wintertime with such cold temperatures, have to be turning our master switches off at the end of the day. If we don't, and we let the machine sit out for a weekend or really even a couple, 2-3 days here and there, it can really drain the batteries on these things. And the last thing we want to do is to have to come out and constantly replace batteries because they've been drained because of cold weather. This equipment is a lot like you guys, right? You guys take care of yourself during the wintertime. We got to take care of the equipment during the wintertime. We like to get you guys brand new pieces of equipment to do our work with. And the only way we do that is by taking care of these machines.
Patrick, good information. Thank you very much. So let's take this both for our bodies to make sure we're physically prepared in these cold temperatures, as well as our heavy equipment, so we can get through this season safely and productively. Thanks.